So you do have a bit of an experience in the medical,
Mhm. I do,
in
absolutely.
medicine. I mean, you had a crazy, I believe,
Yep.
like childhood experience with cancer, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
What?
I am a
So
cancer survivor, fortunately.
let's go.
Mhm.
I mean, let's go that you survived, but not let's go cancer.
Let's go, cancer. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Ravage the youth. So, do you want to take me through that?
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, do
So,
you mind if I take a pee quick?
oh, go for it. Go for it.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
All right, I'll be back and then we'll get into the cancer.
Yeah,
Awesome.
let's get some cancer, bro. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good trip. Give me some good news here. Give me some Ben
Some good news.
Ben
So,
Tomchek kicking some motherfucking cancer ass. Okay, I want to
yep,
hear it.
exactly that. Well, as of December 13th, you get 5 years with the type of cancer I had to be out of remission and considered a survivor. So as of December 13th, I am now a 5 year cancer survivor, which I'm very proud of and happy to be. Thank you.
Woo,
Yeah.
let's go, baby.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it. It's pretty cool. It's it's the one thing that differentiates me from all us other people is yeah, I had to deal. I was dealt a good hand. I had a good childhood. Just my teenage years were rough with it. But so yeah, I was you go back to call it 2015. I was a freshman in high school. I started to notice, just wasn't feeling right, had more fatigue than everyone else, didn't have the energy as my friends. My ability to play soccer was greatly impacted. I just wasn't feeling right. Then come sophomore year of high school, it was very noticeable. Like I just could no longer get out of bed. I really could not run anymore. It was pretty I was damn near a completely different person altogether.
And so you know
And
what's going on at this point.
not yet. It's like I was, we had gone to a couple of doctors. People were like, "Oh, he's got adolescent depression, this, that," just a lot of stuff. And
You're just like,
I even, yeah, exactly. And like even people like who would tell me like I was just lazy, and I was like, "There's no way." Like I literally feel like I can't do shit. Yeah. And
Yeah.
to hear that and to like think about that and like feel the neglect, it's kind of unbelievable to think about. But so struggled through my freshman sophomore year. By the end of my sophomore year, I had a really, really wicked cough, just like I was always hacking up a lung. And at that point, my parents and I, my family and I, we realized that something worse was going on. So we said to one of my doctors, we want to take some blood tests. We want to, get to the bottom of this, that, and the third. And did my blood test. A couple of days later, they called back. They're like, "Yeah, like everything possibly wrong on your blood could be wrong."
Oh my God, bro.
And so pretty quickly, I had been
Okay, where are you at this point? Are you
I was a junior in
terrified?
high
Are
school.
you terrified?
I was
You get
I
back blood
was,
work and they're like, you're
yeah.
fucked.
It's scary, but it's also kind of like your body kind of kicks into like you just got to do what you got to do,
Gotta do
like
what you
every
gotta
day.
do.
Yeah, every day every human is focusing on survival. You may not realize it, but like all of us are just surviving on a day-to-day basis. So my junior year hit, we got these blood tests back. We did a bunch of other stuff. Like I've had a colonoscopy, an endodonoscopy, MRI, CT scans, all that. And then eventually one of these CT scans, they find about a 3.5-inch tumor sitting in between my heart and my left lung. So yeah,
Wait,
pretty damn massive. Yeah. Like really big, like 3.5 inches is a
that's
big
three and a
tumor.
half inches, bro.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
huge.
You think it was sitting like right here-ish on my chest.
That's like the
And
size of your heart, isn't it?
yeah, basically. Yeah. It was a, yeah, it's the size of a baseball, man. Like, and that's just the length. Like that's not considering the whole cubic like space of it. So there is this massive tumor in my chest cavity. And they're like, we know your son has cancer. Now we got to figure out what type. So I get admitted to the hospital, Lurie's Children's Hospital in Chicago. And I had my biopsies. So they go in, unfortunately it was in my tumor's in too dangerous of a place to be removed. Like if they, maybe in the future there will be a procedure, but right now the procedures would involve like removing part of my lung, breaking all my ribs to get at it. It would just be more pain than it's worth. So I had my biopsy. I had probably the most painful thing in my life was the biopsy because I had a chest tube draining the blood out of my lung coming
Wait,
out of this
whoa.
side.
Okay, tell me what's going on here.
It's
So you have a
yeah,
biopsy. What is a biopsy?
a biopsy is they go in and they take small tissue samples to go into a lab and then go
Okay.
figure out what's going on. So I
Okay.
had my biopsies. They're like, okay, we have the formal diagnosis.
Wait, hold on. So you're in this biopsy. So
Mhm.
they're sticking something inside of you?
You get put under, yeah. So
get put
they go
under.
in, they go like it's like a little claw device on like
Okay.
a with a robotic thing that they're controlling, and they go in through my ribs, split my ribs, go in, take the biopsy from here. So they have to go around my lung, or
Oh
yeah,
wow.
around my lung,
Okay.
and so then I wake up, the next, I wake up after surgery, got this tube coming out of my side that's draining blood from the inside of my chest. And I would say that that's undeniably the most painful. This is just the most painful thing I've ever been through. And got my, so they were like, he undeniably has cancer. We came up with the type. I was diagnosed with stage 3B Hodgkin's lymphoma because I had it in my chest and then I had it in my spleen as well. So I had cancer in my spleen and in my chest. They call it a mediastinal mass is the formal medical term. So I had a mediastinal mass and then cancer in my spleen as well. And alongside that, they realized I had another very rare disease that it's called Castleman's disease, which it interacts very similarly and functions very similarly to a cancer. It's just considered an autoimmune condition. So I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 3B alongside Castleman's disease. And, it was pretty much, this was started November of 2016. So I was diagnosed, November 3rd of 2016 was my formal diagnosis. And they're like, we got to get kicked into gear. Like it really was not great. Like it was a toss up. Like I didn't really know, I didn't care at the time because when you're dealing with it, you just can't think about life or death. But like thinking back on it, it was a very, very sticky situation. Like it really could have gone either way. And so I get my, my prognosis, all that, and they tell me what I'm going to have to do. So I had to do 5 rounds of chemotherapy, and each round I had 4 days worth. So a total round is 3 weeks long. So I had 15 weeks about of chemotherapy. And so yeah, I started
15
that.
weeks?
Yeah, it's and
That's
your
almost 4
body,
months.
yeah, and your body never really recovers from it. Like I still feel the latent effects, and I still feel pretty fatigued in my day-to-day life. But so I did 20 days worth total of just like laying in the bed in the hospital beds getting chemotherapy. But you feel sick for you feel sick for so long.
So what are they doing in chemotherapy? What are they?
It's funny. Yeah, not many people actually like understand or like know what it's like. But
Yeah, it's
so
just like we're shooting
all
radiation at you,
yeah,
basically.
that I was supposed to have radiation. Radiation's where you actually get like beams blasted at you. Chemotherapy is real like injections.
Oh, it's
So
injections.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's radioactive medicine. So the medicine they're putting it, chemotherapy is actually way worse for you than radiation therapy just because it's like actually going into your body and all over your body and just really destroys everything inside of you. So I would get they set you up on these drips, and the big bags of these gross colored medicines. Like I've had these big bags of just like red shit just
oh
pushed into me, and it's
God.
disgusting. And so I started, mid-November, lost my hair pretty quickly, felt shitty pretty quickly, started I had a couple close calls throughout it as well, because you think chemotherapy, it kills everything in your body, including all the good things. So you get like the common cold. Like I got the common cold, which one of the strains is called a rhinovirus, and it damn near killed me. Like the
Oh
common cold
my
almost killed
God.
me back in
What a way to go out.
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, death by the common cold. But so started mid-November, had a couple of ICU stays, but a day of chemotherapy, it's actually like, you wake up like 6 a.m. or so, you got to drink a fuck ton of water because they got to make sure you're hydrated enough when you go there to go get it. Get to the hospital
Oh
around 7, 8
God.
a.m. You get admitted, you go to your room, whatever. It's just like a hospital room. You have your TV, you have your, my mom will come with me, my dad will come with me. You lay in bed all day long. And they get it going. You get this thing. Do you know what a portacatheter is?
I feel like I've heard of that, but
You've
explain it.
probably, yeah, you've probably heard of them, but a lot of people don't know like how they work. But it's since they want the medicine to be well spread around your body, you get this permanent like IV thing in your chest connecting to one of your aortic veins.
Oh,
So yeah, I had this like straight like lump of like you because the skin covers it, but it's so gross. If you looked up a
is it
picture of a
still now? Do you
portocatheter,
still have it?
no,
Okay.
I had it removed a couple of months after because you can only have them for like 6 months at a time. But
Wait, so there's
it's
something like there's like a little tube thing that's attached.
no, dude, it's like I can't even. So like you have this thing protruding and you can see it,
Should
but
we
your
look it up?
skin, yeah, just honestly just look it up because that's the only way it'll really like I guess
What do I look
resonate.
up?
Look up put like PORT on chest. Yeah, like look up a port on chest or something like that.
Okay. Let's let's do this. Should I go images?
Yeah, they won't be there. They're not gross. Yeah, it's literally like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like it's this lump you can actually see, but there's nothing. I never had anything hanging out like that. That bottom right image is more, and that bottom right and the top right are how mine looked. It's like it's just like a lump, really.
Bottom right. This one? This one?
That one, yeah, yeah. That's how it
I
looked, or
think
like
this
above
is
it.
showing what it would look like.
Yes,
Like this is what it looks like inside of you.
yeah.
But this
That.
isn't like
Oh, yeah,
actually on this
yeah.
is so this right here is
Is what?
actually what's
Yeah,
right here.
yep. You're
Holy
absolutely right.
shit,
Yeah.
man.
So, and they, like I said, they do that
Why?
because it's tapped into a vein that's going, one of your larger veins that delivers a lot of blood through your heart. So it's to make sure the medicine is really getting everywhere. Oh, that's what it looks like accessed.
This
That woman. Yeah. Yeah. And then, you get your
axe what
medicine.
is oh god,
It's
what the
called
plus
accessing your port.
oh man, dude.
People get so
Oh,
weird when they don't know what it's
horrible.
like. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Wow,
Imagine,
dude, the amount
imagine
of
being at
bullshit you
soccer
have to go
practice and
through.
getting like nailed with a soccer ball there. It
Oh
hurt. Like
god.
you fall on it or like roll on it wrong in your sleep, and it's just it gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking about it.
So what are they what are they putting through this?
So you
to
get your
you?
chemotherapy
You get
through
your
there.
chemotherapy. Oh
Yeah.
god.
So like you're sitting in the bed, that thing's like coming out of your shirt. It's actually honestly these are more comfortable than IVs. Like you don't because it doesn't really move. Like when you have an IV in your arm, you got to move your arms. And you're texting and stuff and doing stuff. When that's just in your chest, you don't feel it at all really. So
God.
it's bad, but it's not as bad as the other stuff you're going through. But yeah, so I would have my chemotherapy put through there, and yeah, you pretty much just lay in the hospital bed for like 10 hours. My days would start at like 9 a.m. We'd be walking out of there usually by like 7 p.m. or so, home by 8 p.m. And yeah, you just feel like absolute dog. Like it's
Oh my
indescribable.
God.
Like I would never wish chemotherapy on anybody, but you won't ever understand like what it's like or like what the feelings are like unless you actually have to go through it yourself. Cause like
Oh
there's
my
just so many,
God.
like you lose because it's such like a strong pungent medicine. You lose your sense of taste and like smell altogether. So like you can kind of like
See,
taste this medicine almost all the time. And it's just, oh
so you get COVID, AIDS,
yeah,
like
literally. Yeah. It's
the
as
common
bad as it
cold,
gets.
everything at the same time.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my God.
So yeah, I did I there were a couple, rough times. Like I said, like I spent my Thanksgiving in the ICU because I had a pretty I got really sick after one of my days of chemotherapy. So like I've had that. I had chemotherapy a day before I took my SATs. So like that's something I think
No,
about a lot. Is
no,
like
you didn't.
yeah. And like I
You
think
had
about
chemotherapy the day before your SAT.
yeah. Yeah. And like I think about
You're
stuff like
fucking
that.
animal. Fucking animal.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But yeah, like that's what makes me most proud to think about is like not only like graduating high school in itself, like people don't realize how hard just like high school is in itself. But I think about like to be a cancer survivor and to graduate high school is really like it's such an accomplishment for me. And now to think like working towards something better and like to keep going, like I'm proud of myself and not to like ride on myself in any way, but like I did a lot just to get through high school, and like to survive my junior year and to get schoolwork turned in. Cause that's the thing is
You
like,
were doing school?
well, that's the thing is like, I wanted to graduate. Like it's not, I didn't just like give up. Like mama ain't raised no bitch. So like I did my schoolwork. I talked with my teachers. I went to school when I could and stuff like that. And yeah, so I did, like I said, it was 5 rounds, 4 days each. So my schedule was I'd have it Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. And then I'd have it next week, Wednesday, and then I'd get like 9 days off until the next. Not so like you think I'd have it that one Wednesday, I wouldn't have it the next Monday, but then a week from that next Monday. So each round is 21 days in itself. So yeah, so I did 5 rounds, 4 days each, 20 days total. And I finished I finished chemotherapy by mid-February. They give you a couple of weeks after you finish, because I was supposed to have radiation to begin with, but my response was good enough such that they decided I didn't need radiation. So I was declared, cancer-free February 23rd of 2017. Yeah, and I'm proud of that. And I was declared I don't have Castleman's disease anymore. The chemotherapy got rid of that too. I had my final surgery like at the start of March to remove my port. So I had my port removed then. And yeah, it's been I always say that like life is great, but I'm certainly thankful to be alive. And what a lot of people, that's the thing that stinks the most, is a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, like you must be like you must be so happy to be like cancer free. Like you must be so happy about all this. And like, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy I'm a survivor. But a lot of people don't realize that like even after you're cancer free, it doesn't just like stop. Like, like I have I'm diagnosed with PTSD. I have a lot of memories that I wish I could forget. A lot of stuff I wish didn't happen. My senior year of high school, like my junior year of high school was really hard, but my senior year of high school was just as hard because like my body, like it screws your body up. Like it really destroys everything in your body. So, yeah,
What were the effects?
Nausea, vomiting, you get so fatigued, you get really bad stomach pain, just everything hurts. Like it's really an all body pain. Like your whole body hurts all the time.
And you have to do normal life.
Yeah.
Normal ups and downs of being a 17, 18-year-old kid.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to deal with that on top of it.
Yeah. I started dating a girl, like mid-March, I had just been a cancer survivor, but
you were the champ, man.
Exactly. Yeah. And like just continuing on with all that normal stuff afterward, it's really hard after because you think like you get diagnosed with cancer and you're like, why me? And then you survive it and you feel like, why me too? Like you have a lot of survivor's guilt, a lot of memories you got to cope with, a lot of pain and just stuff like that. So like it doesn't really, I do feel at a point now where I'm able to like think about it in a better light. And like, you see I'm talking about it. It doesn't really make me anxious to talk about it anymore. And it doesn't really bother me. But like, 2017, 2018 were very, very hard. And it took a lot of work, to get to a point where I felt like, I live alone. Like I live in St. Louis alone. Like to get here and to feel like not like I'm worrying about cancer every day of my life, it took a lot of work. Mm-hmm.
So do you still worry about it coming back?
I do, but not as much. And like even just like stuff like death, like I don't even worry about it because death's coming for everybody. Everybody dies. So I worry about it. I'm more or less worried about just like chemotherapy is painful. That's the biggest thing. It's like I know if I get cancer again, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kick its ass, whatever. Because that's just the mindset you gotta have. But I do dread like having to do like if I ever had to do chemotherapy again, because it just really is that bad. Like it's not comparable to anything. Yeah, it's like the stomach flu like multiplied by 1,000,000, man. It's just really like nothing. And that's the funny thing is like nowadays, like I get sick and like I just go about my day-to-day life. Like, I had a lot of like I didn't really I didn't really stop vomiting until like mid 2020. Like that's the thing is like I would still vomit a lot. And just like, like I'll be vomiting, like 30 minutes before a college class. And it's just like, shit, gotta get out of here. Like gotta finish vomiting and get to class.
Oh my God.
So yeah. And like I said, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah. And like I said, my tumor's in a spot where it can't be removed. So it's no longer 3.5 inches, but I still have about 1 inch of tumor just sitting right here.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Can you notice it at all or?
Honestly, no. What before, like I said, I had such a bad cough because it was pushing up on my trachea and like really hitting my esophagus and windpipe. But now it's really not hitting anything. Like I have a lot of heart tests I do, lung tests I do, I go to my oncologist twice a year. I don't really have any like actual problems outside of like mental health, I would say. Yeah. Like I still, I have a couple of I struggle with something called POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And that really it's because of chemotherapy and being hospital ridden for so long. So my autonomic nervous system is pretty screwed up. I do have some general like nervous system functioning issues. Like I don't have as great a feeling in my fingertips anymore. My taste buds are not as great anymore. My sense of smell is not as great anymore. Yeah. And I get dizzy a lot, I would say. But outside of that, like I really, it's normal day-to-day life for me now. Like I said, I'm happy to be alive, and I'm at the point now where I have the clarity that like I know I can do so much more, and like I just can't, I can't perseverate on it. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, man.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Could you you're fiddling with the mic a little bit.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry,
good.
dude.
It's
I'm
just,
sorry.
No, you're good. It's just you're causing a lot of feedback. I was
sorry about that.
No, it's totally fine. You're getting you're into it, and I didn't want to. Man, dude, that is one of the most crazy stories I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I had my friends, I had my parents, I had my sister. Honestly, thinking back on it, like the biggest thing was it's really hard to see your parents and I have one younger sister. She was in 7th grade at the time. It's really hard to see the impact on like the people you love. Cause like that's what Deadpool, he's got a funny quote, like that. Have you seen the movie? You've seen Deadpool?
Yeah.
So like, he has cancer and whatever, this, that, and the third. One of his quotes early in the movie is he says like, I'm not scared of what cancer will do to me. I'm scared of what cancer will do to the people I love. And that's something that like, I really understand that. I really feel that because it's hard, like I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my sister, I love my friends, the people I care about. And to watch how, how everybody changes, it really impacts a lot of people in your life. It's never just like, it was never just about me because it was all of us battling it,
Yeah. I mean, I think that's having those really close ties and those loved ones.
Yeah.
That's what gets people through anything, man.
Yeah.
It's like if you're, thinking about bad thoughts, suicide, you're going through the shits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, what would this do to my family if I killed myself?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why like I've never really struggled with like I struggle with PTSD, depression, all that stuff, but I've never really struggled with suicide because I could never just the impact that and that's why like I'll talk with people who have suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, and just the impact like you're always able to overcome something, whatever your body throws at you, you are in it until you die, like whatever thoughts you're having, whatever depression and anxiety you're going through, it's going to really suck in the moment, but you're going to wake up the next day and the next day and the next day, and until you check out all the way, you will always be there. You will all, you just got to keep living. And it sounds so stupid, and that's such like a mundane statement because it's obviously, when you're in it, it really sucks and hurts. But like, as long as you keep going, it'll get greater later.
You just gotta keep going, man. Wow.
Absolutely.